Hello, this is Steve from Beaute's Leatherworks, and today's project is this cool Ferragamo bag. Now it's a brand new tote. She just got it. I mean, she hasn't even worn it yet. But what she doesn't like is the lining inside. I kind of think it looks pretty cool, but you know what? It's not my bag. She wants to change it. We're going to change it for her. So we gave her some options, and she chose this one. So basically, we're going to take the bag apart and then take the lining out and make a pattern of the old lining with the new material, and then reassemble everything back together. All right, let's get started. Alrighty, there goes nothing. First, we got to remove the handles. Now, in my last video, I used the camcorder. I'm back to my telephone. I'm just comfortable with the telephone, you know. It's just your basic video, you know. There's no high production whatsoever. Well, that's obvious. You can tell. And I don't care, you know. One of these days I'll create a production company where we can do better videos. No, I won't. It is what it is. This is it. This is the best I can do for now, anyway. Now this bag is it's a very cool bag. I like it. And it's your basic tote, you know, and I mean, once these handles come off, it should be easy peasy taking lining out and duplicating it. Well, nothing is hard, you know. It's just some projects are more time consuming than others. I believe we charged $300 for this one. Seems like I put in a little bit more work than what I promised, which is okay, no big deal. This one's a little late though. Here it is. It's before Christmas, and we're supposed to have this done a while back, and I just couldn't do it, you know. But she'll have it before Christmas. I guess it'll be her Christmas present, I guess. I don't know. Cool. There goes the handles. Everybody gets nervous when I cut bags open. Don't be nervous. It's in good hands. A little shaky hands, but it's in good hands. I can't believe people are still commenting about my hand shaking. Come on, guys. Everything is okay. I guess I gotta, with every video, I've got to put like a disclaimer. You know, hands are okay. I'm okay. Everything's okay. But for those of you who don't know the story behind my hands shaking, my hands have been shaking ever since I was 10 years old. And I don't know what they're from. They get a little worse when I have a little caffeine in me, and if I'm a little tired, you know. So, and you know, in the videos it shows more, obviously, because you're sitting there watching the videos. but in real life it's not too bad. And I've seen some doctors, you know, and everything is checked out fine. So I appreciate the concern. And you know, I used to draw when I was younger, and it never really had any effect on, you know, on me drawing. You know, finer technical detailed drawings, and I had no issues whatsoever. So as an adult, you just kind of learn. You just learn to live with it. I haven't tried to cut out the caffeine to see if it makes a difference. You know, but it's not bothering me. And if my heart wants caffeine, I'm gonna give my heart what it wants. You know, if it gets to a point where it's really bad, yeah, of course. But as of right now, everything's cool, man. Very, very good. No issues. All right. Yeah, and it is almost done. Am I in the middle of the picture? Picture frame, whatever the heck they call that. Okay, there she goes. Now these are put in right here to kind of reinforcement for the handles. See where this is where the handle went like that. So just to reinforce that structurally. And we're going to put this aside for now because we don't need this. This is what we need basically, right? We need this as a pattern because basically you're going to take it apart and make a pattern of the new one and then reassemble it. This is a security tag. They put these in there so you don't steal the bag. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, it's during assembly of the bag. They do that in some on some shoes also, believe it or not. They put it like inside of the sole in case somebody's trying to steal it. The alarm will go off. Yep. There are people out there who do that. I don't know, man. I don't know why I like this. It's a little busy. Yes, it is very busy, you know, but it's kind of cool. It's against the outer shell, which is just plain, no designs on the bag. It kind of offsets it pretty good, but she don't like it. And if she doesn't like it, then we got to do something that she will be happy with. Right? Right. Right on. And that's a right on. There used to be a local drunk in our town. I think he's passed on now. I'm talking about 20 years ago. His name was Reggie. And that's what he used to say all the time. That's a right on. To do right on, and that's right on, and then he would laugh every time he'd say it. Of course, he was drunk most of the time. Reggie. All right, so one panel done. That's our size. That's basically our measurement right there. All right, let's continue. This is just a little anvil that we had made, oh god, probably 30 years ago. A long time ago. It's just a piece of metal. Nothing really, you know. Just to keep the item in place. Now, this is just basically, you know, a matter of cutting a new piece. Just laying the old piece down and making a pattern of it. And two sides are done. Well, both sides are the same size, so you can cut basically. You don't have to use both sides of it, like this side and that side. You just do one piece and you're done. Bottom piece is already done. Okay. Wrap that up. It's a little bit of a, like a piece of nylon or some sort of a heavy fabric. So just reuse that. Just form that new piece around that. Okay. Let's continue. All right. So we got the pockets on one side done. Okay. Now you got to be careful. It's really easy to make a mistake where even though this fabric doesn't really have patterns like the other one does, but if you look at it, it's got horizontal lines, so it's got some sort of a pattern on it. So whenever you've got other pieces you're making, you got to make sure that every line, you know, you don't cut the pattern this way where it's vertical and this is horizontal. So it's easy to do at times because you get distracted and you won't find out until everything's done, you know, because it'll catch your eye later when you're inspecting it. So this is 2 3/4 from the top. Since 1/2 inch got to be rolled over, so it'll be 3 1/4. Now find the center here, about 4 1/2, and center here. This is, let's say it's 19 1/2, so we'll move the tape over 1/4 inch. That would make it 10 center. That way you don't have to figure out exactly what the 1/2 of 19 1/2 is. There she goes right there. Double check everything first before you mark it, because once you mark it, that's what you gotta, that's where you're gonna stitch it to. Mark the corners like that. Now you can put a little glue on here just to kind of keep it in place, because you know things tend to always move when you're stitching it. Sometimes people will put like a 2-sided tape. I have that somewhere, but it's a little bit too wide. It's about 1/2 inch. It's going to be a little too wide for this guy here. So just put a little bead of glue, just a little bit, just to keep it in its place. Follow your marks again. Tap it down. Stitch it and you're done. Now, if you look here, see how the manufacturer has put these little tabs here? Well, this is just to reinforce it, so when this pocket is getting used, it doesn't do too much damage there. So we're going to do the same thing to ours. Basically just to cut a piece of material. We'll just cut one of these guys here. We'll do it just like that, just a square piece. Put a little bit of glue, not too much. We'll go ahead and glue that on there. A little bigger than what the manufacturer's done, but that's okay as long as there's something there which reinforces that corner. Perfecto. Alright, let's continue. Now on the other side, where the zipper is going to go, basically I marked the size of the zipper, obviously from right to left. Okay. Now this is the back part. This is the front. That's the back. Now, when I cut the slit open, I don't cut it from point to point. I cut it 1/2 inch smaller than the end, and I cut a V to the end. So basically, cut your horizontal, let's say V, and come back. I've got glue on here, it's sticking to my hands. Cut on the line, 1/2 inch to the closer to the end, and then make it into a V. Okay, so then you're going to fold this over. We want the opening of the zipper to be about 1/2 inch or so. Come on now, sticking all over this place. And why did we cut that into a V? You guys see that? Where's it at? Right there? So basically when you fold that over, you get a square corner. Let me turn this over real quick. Fold that V over there. So basically this is what it looks like, you see? So from the outside, it's square-ish. See, there's a little fraying in the corners a little bit, but that's okay. We'll clean that up. But you guys get the idea, right? Now you got your opening for the zipper. Now you got to be careful with this fabric because the glue will seep through, okay? You guys notice that stain right there? So this was the first piece. I had to cut another piece because the glue seeped right through. So you guys got to be careful when you're working with fabric. It's a spray adhesive that I used, but unfortunately when I was spraying it, all of it came out at one time. But no need, no worries. What we're going to do is we're going to use this one as the pocket lining. So nothing's wasted. We'll just fold that over to get a rough measurement. And then there's the piece. There's the lining for the pocket. Okay, let's continue. All right, so we got the pocket in. We used the original zipper. I think it kind of looks good with the red, with the light color backing. Now basically we're going to put the Ferragamo logo back on. Make sure we've got it centered. How far is that below? That's a little bit lower, so it was about right here. Now basically this is just a prong tag. 2 prongs in the back with a little washer. It goes in and it folds over. Most of the tags are done that way. Okay. And the washer. Fold those over. Gentle tap. And little piece of material to cover the edges of that fabric, or the edges of that metal, not fabric. And one side is done. Now, we're done with both sides, okay? What we're going to do now, I salvaged, let's see, this is the back of the top. Remember I was showing you guys a little earlier? So we're going to basically glue this back of that like that, and glue it back and fold the top over. Okay, that way it looks just like it did before, and you've got the piece that's reinforcing the handles. All right, let's continue. Right, it's almost done. We've got the lining in the bag. We can't forget to stitch these side pieces. They were there, so I put a mark on the bag just to know where they are. And we just have to follow the pattern of the old stitches. Now, if you set the guide of the stitch length, very close to what you had before, you should be able to get it almost in the same holes. Not necessarily exactly, but if you're in the same line, you should be okay. But if you're lucky enough, then you'll catch most of the holes. Most of the exact same holes, I should say. Alright, well, I think we're going to have to take the string out because it's getting in the way of... I'll just put it back in there. You guys can't see me stitching it exactly, but you get the idea. It'd be nice to have this view, no? Maybe I'll do that. Alright, let me try. Not too bad. I swear, every time I want to record something always goes wrong. Well, part of the job, I guess. All right. The lining was not even with the outside, and it missed it. No big deal. Just gotta undo a little bit stitching and then readjust the lining a little bit. Kind of make them even like this instead of like that. Even though I've got the lining glued, it does move at times. Just wasn't feeling right when I was stitching it, and happened to glance at it, and sure enough. When you stitch a lot, you know, you tend to feel your machine not act right, you know, and you know something's up. I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit here. What we're going to do is we're going to peel this back. And just start over. I'm glad I caught it. I mean, I would have been able to do it later too, but still, since we're here at this point. There we go. Much better. And a little string here. Get rid of that. Put that on the bottom. Don't worry, we still have to stitch the handles on. Cool. Alright, let's continue. Alright, we are done with another project. And that is your new lining right there. Zipper, name tag, pockets. Stitch the handles back on, these little tabs here. And I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think customer will be happy also. I mean, we gave her exactly what she wanted. I guess this is a lot muted than what she had before. You know, I gotta. It's a lot muted than what she had before. I mean, before, you guys remember, this sucker was bright. Maybe I can make some like a Hawaiian shirt out of this one. I'm gonna save this material because you never know. Something might come up and I might need to make something out of it. So it's not too bad. I think it turned out pretty good. Again, this was a $300 job. Now, it's a nice bag, right? You know, I'm sure it's not cheap, but the job was not that difficult. I figured maybe about 2 hours of the labor. Material wasn't too much, maybe half a yard of fabric. It took me a little bit longer. I just kind of, sometimes I do things more than what I promise, and it took me a little longer than 2 hours. So it's not a too bad job. I think it turned out all right. I think the bottom line is the customer will be happy, and off to the next project. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. It's email me bedos, BEDOS @yahoo.com. and I'll do my best to answer all your questions for you. And again, hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You guys know what to do. I don't have to tell you by now. You guys are pretty savvy on YouTube, not like me. I'm an amateur. I'm learning though. All right. Thanks again for watching my video, and we'll see you guys again next time. Take care.